Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So this reading is basically, I'm not going to be pulling in any cards. I'm actually just going to be talking about the intuitive messages that I've been getting. So it's not a reading, it's a video about the intuitive messages I've been getting. The reason why I want to do this is because my head is full of it. My head is like full of random information and signs and symbols and all this kind of stuff that I've been getting, like downloads. And I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily for Scorpio, which is the next sign I'm due to read for. It feels like mostly Gemini, Leo, Capricorn, although not necessarily. A little bit of Libra in there as well, just because of one of the topics. But it doesn't have to be a particular sign. It's just I'm getting information and I just want a video where it's out, it's on record, it's out of my head, right? And you all know, so if it comes out in a reading, I can like reference this video. I'm annoyed with myself because especially one of the messages, I got it through last night and it played out very publicly, like kind of overnight. And so I'm annoyed with myself for not recording the video last night when I was getting the messages and when I should have done it, but I didn't have very much time. And I'm kicking myself because you would have understood. So in retrospect, people might just be like, oh yeah, she's making it up. But some people know. So anyway, I'm just going to get on with it. So Gemini, I kind of watched Gemini's reading back and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed the big obvious thing. So just to kind of put this in context, I've been plagued by the song Fantasy by Mariah Carey for a good week or so. It's like everywhere. It's always on the radio. It's been in films that I've been watching. So specifically Rush Hour and what's the Ryan Reynolds film? Not the one that's on Libra's reading today, but the other one. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a new one where he's in the future, he goes back to the past, but it's in that as well. So this song Fantasy, just constantly playing and trying to get my attention. It's stuck in my head. So I'm like, there's a reason why this song's playing. It's something, right? And then in Gemini's reading, I had this thing about big hands. I was talking about Disney. I was talking about a park. And I was like, and they showed me, as I was watching the video back, they just showed me Mickey Mouse. You know, he's got those big white gloves. And I was like, oh, Mickey Mouse, that's why I was getting that. That makes so much sense now. Or Minnie Mouse, I guess, you know, with the big white hands. Or even like, you know, Pluto, Daffy Duck. They all have like the big white gloves, right? So big hands, I was like, that makes sense. I mean, it could be other things. I do say this in the video. It's going to be different things for different people, but I was definitely channeling Disney, right? 100%. And what else? With the Magician card and with Fantasy, it suddenly clicked. I was like, it's like the Magician's Apprentice, you know, when Mickey Mouse is dressed up as the you know, like in the wizard outfit. I was like, I think it's trying to get me to that. So for some of you Geminis, that may be relevant for you, okay? It may not be, it's not going to be for everybody, but they were definitely trying to get me to Fantasia. Okay, so the next big thing, and I'm so frustrated that I didn't do this video yesterday. So I was in work yesterday and I work in a really busy kitchen. And I love the people I work with. And I was just there. It was like mind numbing, right? It was like the checks were coming and coming and coming. They don't stop coming. I was like, the checks keep coming and they don't stop coming. And I was a bit like brain frazzled. And I was just kind of like going through the motions, like making the food that I'm so used to making. And I think that thing about like my mind kind of being occupied but also starting to drift at the same time, I started to get a vision, and the vision I was getting was Bad Boys, the movie Bad Boys. And I turned to my boss and I was like, I'm seeing Bad Boys. They're playing the movie Bad Boys to me in my head. I was also getting, because I'd seen Rush Hour, I was kind of getting Rush Hour, and you know, like I get them mixed up. Is it Chris Tucker? But I was like, if there's like a connection there, but there's not a connection there. I was like, there's a connection there, but it doesn't feel right. And then I walked out into the front, like the bar area, and Will Smith's Miami was playing. So I went out the back to get something. Like you have to go out the back to kind of get to the storeroom. And a girl was there on a break. And I said, you know, I was just channeling Bad Boys. I was like, Will Smith is playing. And she was like, what does that mean? I was like, I don't know, but I think they're trying to get me to the name Will. So I was like, it's something. It's definitely something. I know, like, it's been highlighted to me, like Bad Boys, Will Smith, Miami. I don't know how Miami fits in, but like I was like, it's definitely telling me something. It seems to be about like the name Will. So if you watch the news today, it was the Oscars, and Will Smith is in the news for two reasons in regards to that. So Bad Boys, right? Which is funny because I actually mixed up the two comedians as well with Chris. So really interesting how it played out. So I am absolutely kicking myself. I'm so frustrated that I didn't do this reading yesterday before the incident played out publicly. So annoyed with myself. But I've seen a lot of, I don't know if this is relevant at all. I've also been picking up on people with Venus-Mars placements. I was already kind of looking at something on an astrology site about it, about basically I was looking at the way that people are in the bedroom. I was looking at, because Mars can control sexual desire and things like this, yeah, and I was watching this thing about Virgos in the bedroom, and I was thinking, well, it's the Virgo Mars placement you need to look at. And again, it's so frustrating when I get this stuff and then it plays out. I'm like, oh. So a lot of the astrology sites today, because of the incident with Will Smith, basically what happened is the comedian who was hosting, who's one of the Chris's, I don't know, I'm really bad with names. Sorry, I get people mixed up all the time. Chris... Everybody hates Chris, right? Oh my God, that ties in as well. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. So it's basically this comedian Chris was on stage hosting, and he made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, who is Will's, are they divorced? I don't even know, like Will's wife, right? And her acting talent. And Will Smith took his ball in, he walked up on stage and he slapped Chris Pratt, is it? Yeah, which, you know, some people are cheering him on, some people are like, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best thing to do. But, you know, morals aside here for a second, a lot of the sites have been saying, oh, his sun signs this, his moon signs this, his rising signs this. And I'm like, why are you talking about his sun, moon and rising? Because the thing that makes you punch someone is your Mars sign, because Mars controls anger. It controls what makes you angry, what riles you up, and what do you do when you get angry. I've got Mars in Sagittarius. I'm prone to running away from an argument. I'm prone to being like, I'm out of here. See you later. Water off a duck's back. But also that kind of like backed into a corner. I'm going to knock you out, you know? Yeah, it's like fight or flight is Mars in Sagittarius. Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about that because that's not the point. We're talking about Mars in Virgo, which if you look at Will Smith's placement, he is Mars in Virgo. Now, Virgo is an earth sign. So it's one of the signs that are very, very kind of protective about the friends, the family, the loved ones. So of course, if somebody's being quite disrespectful to somebody that a Mars in Virgo placement loves, they're going to get irritated. Now, normally Mars in Virgo tends to be more about irritation. It tends to be more nitpicking, nagging. I'm not happy, I'm angry, so I'm going to nag you. That's kind of like normally how Mars in Virgo plays out. But Virgo likes to be the hero in the action movie, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is all about the hands. So often people know Gemini is a sign about the hands, but so is Virgo. So yeah, I don't know, make of that what you will. So yeah, it makes perfect sense with his Mars in Virgo why he acted the way he did. So that leads me to, I'm actually going to skip something because I'm already kind of talking about the next thing. So I've been getting stuff a lot about being the protagonist in your own story, being the protagonist in your own computer game, your own movie. And this thing about your public persona and your private persona, and like on screen and off screen as well. So the perfect example of this is Nicolas Cage is about to be in a new movie that's coming out in cinemas, and I'm not promoting it or anything like that. It's just something that's going on right that I'm talking about, where he actually plays himself. Now, funnily enough, last night I'm talking about Chris Pratt, right? I think it's Chris Pratt. I'm sorry, I do get people mixed up all the time. I'm not good with like names. He played Everybody Hates Chris, and of course, or like I think it was about him or something like that. So it's like this thing about playing yourself or having a movie about yourself, something like that. So like Will Smith as well, if you look at Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like, okay, he's playing a character, but it's the same person, you know? I was watching Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, of course he's that's got this whole thing about like being in a movie or like the guy coming out of the movie and being reality. I even talked about this in somebody's reading. I can't remember who, it could have been Libra because it's kind of come come back up again for Libra with Enchanted, where she's the princess, but she's in the real world. So there's this whole thing about reality and stories and who you are, like which character you are. Are you the same character? And I don't understand what it is or why it's coming through, but like that Nicolas Cage movie is the perfect example of it. So it's almost like playing yourself, but creating a story about yourself at the same time. Like, say you're playing yourself, right? I'm playing Cinderella Mouse, but I'm in a action movie. It's going to be like, especially if I'm writing it, I'm directing it, I'm going to I'm going to be the hero of the movie. I'm going to be the good guy. You know what I mean? So there's something about the crafted persona that seems to be coming through about that. Like Nicolas Cage in that movie is going to be like really entertaining, right? He's going to be like, oh, I want to hang out with this guy. Nicolas Cage in real life might be, look at his moon sign. I don't know what it is. He might be really like boring and fussy, or, like you don't know. He's Mercury as well, so know what he's like talking. Hopefully he talks better than me. So I don't know what that is. I don't know why it's coming through, but I'm putting it out there because I just want to get the messages out of my system, right? I was also then getting this stream of messages as I was kind of walking home from work, and I feel like it was the Capricorn for some reason. I think because they've had similar messages come out in their reading before. I get it for Caps quite a bit. So, but it's really strong Leo. So I was getting New York. So something about New York. I don't know, just New York, right? That's all I was getting. And then I was really, really seeing sunflowers. Now, sunflowers I do associate with Leo energy because they're on the Sun card and they're on the Queen of Wands card. So Leo, Sagittarius, but I'm really getting Leo, right? They are also incidentally, I think the national flower of Ukraine, or associated with Ukraine somehow. So some of you, again, going back to Gemini's reading, I'm talking about doing something positive and planting seeds and brightening up people's days. So a lot of you may actually be planting sunflower seeds right now, especially if you've got kids. They're easy to grow, they're entertaining. Whose is going to grow the highest, that kind of thing. But they really drew me to the seeds. So as soon as I got sunflowers, I got sunflower seeds. And they were showing me Fox Mulder from the X-Files because he used to eat sunflower seeds. Now, I am like 99% sure this has come out for a Capricorn reading in the past. So I'm getting the same message coming through again. Sunflower seeds, Fox Mulder, X-Files. So I don't know what that is. Incidentally as well, I'm seeing the sunflower seeds that, because I think you can get them like stripped, where they're kind of like a clear color. I'm seeing the ones with like the black and white stripes on. It's like when they're in the shells, like the ones that you feed to hamsters. So I don't know, I don't know. I just to be specific, if they're giving me something specific, I can give you something specific. But I got home and I was like, I don't know what this means. Why are they showing me Fox Mulder? Why are they showing me sunflower seeds? Why are they telling me about New York? How does this all tie in together? So my phone's pinging away down there. And then I was like, hang on, what is his star sign? And it was Leo, right? So makes sense. Sunflowers, Leo. Not Fox Mulder, I don't know what his star sign is. It gives me Capricorn energy again. But he's actually David Duchovny, he's Leo. And then I'm really excited. I was like, where was he born? Oh my God, where was he born? Was he born in New York? And the person I was talking to was like, I think he's Canadian. And I Googled it and he was born in New York, guys. I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know what it means, but oh my God, like how? So I don't know what it means. I don't know why it's coming through, but there you go. That's what they were giving me. It's something for somebody, right? It always works out. I think he might be in a new movie. I Googled David Duchovny news, and there was some news about him from like 2 days ago. I didn't actually read the articles, but it looks like maybe he's going to be promoting a new movie. So I don't know if it's going to play out somehow. I don't know. I don't know why I'd need to know, right? I don't know why I'd need to know, and I don't know why I'd need to tell you. But again, I don't know why I'm getting messages, and there's going to be some kind of rhyme or reason to it. And a lot of the time things play out. Like, I didn't know why I was getting Will Smith, and then like something happened with Will Smith. I was like, oh, don't know how it affects me, but oh, okay, maybe it's just to show people in work that I am actually predicting stuff. I don't know. So, oh my God, stop phone. I'm just gonna, I got this thing about cleaning out a cupboard. Somebody could be cleaning out a cupboard. That's really mundane, but that is there. Right, then I had this weird thing the other night where I saw, I just flung my phone onto the bed, by the way, as well. I had this thing where, from my perspective, it was almost like I was using like a long angled lens. I don't know if it was like a map or there was like something on a table. And there was a finger like pointing down at it, but the finger was really long. It's kind of like now, right? My finger looks like abnormally long because of the perspective. So it was like that. It was like, oh, it looks like an alien finger. I don't know what it means. It's what I saw. There you go. But like just after I heard, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I heard its simplicity is complicitous. Its simplicity is complicitous. Now, if something's complicit, it means that it's like, it's in on it, right? It's like the partner in crime. Its simplicity is complicitous. So the way I interpret it is like, it's the fact that it's so simple, is kind of like showing that it's guilty, something like that. I don't quite understand. I did Google it. It looks like it's a book and it looks like it's something else. But sometimes when I'm given like certain information, I can be a little bit like, I don't really want to Google that. I don't want to really click on that link because I don't know what kind of rabbit hole or site that's going to take me to. So do be careful if you're Googling this stuff. Don't click on like random stuff. But it's like, I don't want to be on some kind of government watch list, right? Because I've Googled something that I got intuitively. So yeah, I did Google it. It was like those words together kind of did take me to certain things, but I didn't click on them. So there you go. Now, I want to tell my Capricorns off because it's not everybody. It's probably like one person, and it may not even be a Capricorn. It may be like the person that Capricorn's with, right? Who's like, oh yeah, like it's not real. If it's real, prove it. I've had this happen with a Scorpio in work where they were like, oh right, you're psychic, are you? Predict the lottery numbers. And I said, look, I can sit here, I can channel some numbers for you, but if you're meant to win the lottery, you know, if you're meant to have that money, the universe is going to give you that money whether you play the lottery or not. You know, it doesn't like you would pick the right numbers. I don't have to do that for you. I was like, so it doesn't matter. I can channel numbers for you, but if you're meant to win, you'll win anyway. If you're not meant to win, you won't win. Like it's like an abuse of power. So I channeled him some numbers. He didn't win. I told him he wouldn't. But like, and I know that sounds like a cop out, right? But genuinely, I think I don't want to abuse my power in that way, right? If the universe wants you to win, they're going to make you win. Now, I've experienced this myself where like, I've needed money for school uniforms. The universe has like provided me money in a really unexpected way. Like, you don't have to try so hard. You don't have to chase it. If you're meant to have it, you'll have it, right? So I had this thing about like around the time of Capricorn's reading that week, of seeing dice everywhere, or dice, whichever, like seeing dice, getting a bit of stuff about Vegas, and they're showing me a roulette wheel now as I'm talking, and I spin the bottle as well. I was getting like spin the bottle. So there's this whole thing, this whole energy last week of like taking a chance, taking a gamble, taking a risk. Yeah, they're really showing me Vegas. They're actually showing me what I'm going to talk about. So in Capricorn's reading, I remember being like, are you fighting with people? Who are you hanging around with? I don't know who it was for either. It didn't feel like it was my normal Capricorns. And I said this in the reading. I was like, it doesn't feel like your normal energy, right? Because normally it's like I go into Capricorn's reading and it's like meeting a long lost friend at Christmas. It's like Santa, right? It's like Santa's giving me like a nice warm cup of hot chocolate and I'm here for a chat. Like it's like that, really kind of like warm. They show me a fireplace a lot. I get really nice energy from my Capricorns usually. And for some reason last week I was like, you're hanging around with like bad people, you are fighting. I was getting like boxing, I was getting like you get knocked down, you get back up again, and all this stuff. And I even said in that reading, MMA fighting. I was like, it's like MMA fighting. I was getting Street Fighter round 2, right? And I was like, I don't know why I'm getting any of this. It was making me really worried that people were literally fighting. And I was like proper worried. I was like, Capricorns, what are you doing? Who are you hanging around with, guys? Things always turn out like in a different way than I'm necessarily channeling it. So that week, and I had no idea, there was, I think, 3 big MMA type fights. So I'm saying MMA, like, you know, like cage fighting, mixed martial arts. I think it's got the actual fights that were that week. It was a different like it wasn't like MMA, it was something else, like Ultimate Fight Club or something like that, like something like that. Like, I don't know. I don't watch it. I don't follow it. I'm not a sports person. I had no idea it was happening until about 3 days after Capricorn's reading, or whenever the fight was. And someone else was looking at this interview with this lad from Liverpool. I don't even know his name, right? This lad from Liverpool, and he was doing an interview, and I saw at the top of the screen, it was like the letters, like it wasn't MMA, it was something else. And I was like, and I said, is that mixed martial arts? Is that like cage fighting? And they were like, yeah, yeah. And I said, was that like a big fight? And they were like, yeah, there's been like 3 big fights this week. I was like, no way. I was like, well, that's what I was channeling for Capricorn then. It makes perfect sense. And I said, which round because he'd won. I said, which round did he go out on? Because I was getting round 2 fight, right? You get knocked down, but you get up again. And he said, round 1, right? The guy knocked him out in round 1, right? There wasn't a round 2. And I was like, oh my God, because why was I getting round 2 then? I think I know. I think I've solved this mystery. I think I'm so annoyed. Oh, by the way, incidentally, Googled that guy, can't remember his name, the one from Liverpool who's like funny. He's Capricorn. He is Capricorn. So I'm like, I was excited, right? Again, like David Duchovny is like from New York. I was like, oh my God, I was right, channeled it correctly. And this guy was a Capricorn. I was like, whoa, mind blown. I was like, I don't think he's watching my readings, but okay. So I was like, well, why would they give me the wrong information then? Because like that's not the round he went out on. So back to James from work asking me to predict lottery numbers, right? Because I think my theory is, and this is where you're going to get told off, right? Whoever it is, I think that a Capricorn or somebody around a Capricorn said, right, if this girl's psychic, get her to predict the outcome of the fight and I'll put money on it. So my guides were like, oh, really? You want her to predict the outcome of the fight? We're going to give you the information. We're going to talk about MMA. You're going to know she's talking about MMA. You're going to think, oh, yeah, she's actually doing the thing that I wanted her to do. But we're going to give them the wrong outcome, because don't abuse your fucking power. So whoever that was, don't abuse my power. That is not what I'm doing this for, right? If you're meant to win the money, if you meant to win money, it's going to come to you anyway. Like, gambling is probably not a good thing to do. I think in Capricorn's reading as well, at one point I was even saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So yeah, don't bet the farm, right? So don't gamble what you can't afford to lose. And if you do that, it's your own stupid fault, quite frankly. Don't be blaming me, right? If you came to me wanting a certain prediction, don't fucking do that. It's an abuse of my power. I'm not going to do it. And my guides are going to troll the fuck out of you, okay? So really quite annoyed about it. I don't know who it was, but I am 100% sure that's what happened. So I am not here to predict what lottery numbers are coming out. I'm not here to predict stuff that you're betting on, stuff that you're gambling on. That is not what I'm here for, right? They're going to give you the wrong information, so you might as well leave. What I'm here for is to help people develop and grow their own soul and develop as develop as human beings here on earth. So don't abuse my power. I don't have any control over what comes through. I don't even know what I'm talking about 90% of the time until it actually plays out. So there you go. That's it. I wanted to do that as well because that big telling off, it's been frustrating me all week. And I didn't want to do it in Capricorn's reading because, again, like 99% of the Capricorns that come to my reading are lovely. Like, they give me that lovely, warm, like, you smell like home energy. So I don't know what that other energy was. And it can, quite frankly, and I know I'm swearing, but it can quite frankly fuck off out my readings because it's like that, it's not what I'm here for. So yeah, oh, maybe it is. I don't know why I'm here. I just do what I'm told by my guides, right? I just open my mouth and let all the intuitive crap come out of it, and you can all do with it what you want. So I don't know, I'm so salty today. So I wanted to do it in a separate reading because I thought I don't want to get to Capricorn this week and be giving Capricorns a hard time because most of them don't deserve it. Most of them are good people. Like, whoever this like gambly Capricorn is who's like, oh, I'm going to bet money on it, like, yeah, to predict the outcome of the fight. Like, do you know what? If you want to waste your money, if you want to lose your money gambling, you can do it and make your own guesses, right? Don't come to me about that. So with that said and done, that I think is all the psychic stuff I've been getting. I've been getting something about sliced bread as well. Like, REM, like, bread is sliced. I heard that song yesterday. It's kind of stuck with me. So that could be something for somebody. But it's out of my system. It's out of my system. I'm happy, and I hopefully can get on with the readings now without all those intuitive messages like swamping my brain. So if you've stuck around for all that, I hope you found it interesting. Even if it's like, even if it doesn't apply to you, you might have found it interesting just to see how tormented I'm being by like random intuitive messages, and how, how and what it feels like for me, right? What it feels like for me to be getting symbols and messages and things and not understanding what they mean, and then kind of figuring it out later. It's like a detective puzzle. Sometimes I don't figure it out at all. Like, why are they telling me about David Duchovny and X-Files and sunflower seeds, like, and New York? I don't know. Right? I don't know what any of that means, but maybe it's going to play out. So I hope that was helpful in some sort of way, or entertaining, or relaxing. I don't know, until I start swearing. And thank you for putting up with me. And hopefully we can get on with the readings without all this kind of psychic gunk being around. All right. Take care of yourselves as always. Be good people. And I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.